Shri Golak Bihari ji, Professor R. Bhushan Shukla, Dr. Pawan Kumar, Shri Shadri Chari, an eminent strategic thinker whom you just heard, my very dear colleague General Arvinder Lamba, a very respected and reputed soldier, Girish Chavla ji, former IPS, no IPS but former police officer. At the outset, I wish to thank Rashtriya Suraksha Jagran Manch for organizing this event, which is of immense importance to each and every Indian. Manthan 2025, Viksit Bharat, Divya Bharat 2047, a very, very apt theme that we are discussing today. I am extremely happy to be part of such eminent speakers, eminent intellectuals who are expressing their views, and they have expressed it in the past also. And I am extremely happy to be amongst you all, such prominent people, and most importantly these kinetic minds and the smiling faces, my dear children sitting here. The theme of today's talk is basically the national security in the 21st century. A very vast subject and a large horizon, very difficult to comprehensively discuss it in just 10 to 12 minutes. But I can slightly give you the direction on which this national security aspect is going to go. As in the past, everybody used to think that the armed forces are required to defend the borders and they are responsible for the national security. And so is the internal security part, the paramilitary, the central armed police force, and the police will look after. It's no more the situation today. Today, when a nation is required to be secured, each and every aspect which affects our day-to-day activities needs to be secured. You see it in Ukraine today, you see it in Middle East, we have seen it in Afghanistan, and anywhere you take any example today, the world has changed a lot. You need to secure your political system, you need to secure your diplomatic system, you need to have a very good scientific base, you need to have cultural security, you need to have water, food, space, cyber, and call it anything, you need to secure it. Each and every citizen of the country needs to be responsible, therefore, and must understand the nuances of the national security. It's an extremely important. It's no more the domain of the armed forces, and therefore each one of us is responsible for securing our nation. How do you define the national security? There are many definitions, everybody has his view. The one which I can in simple terms say, that is a very aggressive, appropriate blend of political resilience, maturity, human resources, the complete industrial base, the scientific base, infrastructural base, and above all, the might of the armed forces. It is the sum total of everything. And therefore, what we have been calling comprehensive national power, each element of that national power needs to be secured. And that's what national security is all about. You can say comprehensive national security, you can give it any name, but that is what it is. We cannot afford to be relaxed. We just heard Sheshadri Chariji talking so much about how the civilizations have just disappeared, how nations were built and suddenly they changed the total cultural change in their countries. We have a very, very, very strong civilization. We have a very strong cultural base. We have a very strong linguistic base. We have a very strong traditions, and these all need to be protected. As long as you can identify yourself as Bharatiya, you will exist. And therefore, the need for taking pride in being a Bharati, उस भारतीयता की पहचान को आपने सुरक्षा करनी है, ये बहुत जरूरी है. और इसलिए I think each one of us needs to go beyond the narrow segments of personal thinking, personal thing, and caste, creed and all. We need to be very, very, very large-hearted, nationalistic thinking, service before self. Those are the ideals which we need to nurture to ensure that our Bharat remains secured in the 21st century. It's a very dynamic process. In 2005-06, I was handling the induction of the UAVs, unarmed aerial vehicles, and that time we were wanting a combat aerial vehicles. We went to Israel, we saw some demonstration, we recommended acquisition of few of those, Searcher 1, Searcher 2, Heron was on the horizon that time. But today what we see, we could never imagine that these small drones can be used as a weapon. You are seeing it in Ukraine today. It is as secured nation. It will be drug trafficking, women empowerment, human trafficking, narcotics. It will be non-state actors, Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis. They will all be playing part. It will be terrorist organization, that will also be part of that. So all this is not. And what all, I'll just take another 2-3 minutes because other things can be discussed in question answer session. How is the security getting evolved? What are the dimensions of the security? We need to understand. Today, political system needs to be stable, strong, Rashtra Bhakt hone chahiye. That is more important. We cannot let any political system which believes in disintegration of the country ever come to power or ever come to anywhere close to power. We have to identify and we have to take the right decisions. Same thing today, diplomacy. It's a very strong tool of securing nations. And what we saw in Ladakh was one good example. They had the diplomats, but they also got the military involved in the diplomacy. That's how, of course, it took about 4 years, but today we have come to a very, very sensible solution in Eastern Ladakh. It is for the first time that I know of the Chinese, whenever they came in, they constructed something, they never destroyed it. They may have gone back, but those structures remained. This is for the first time that they destroyed those structures and went back. So this is, when you take a resolve, stand firm, involve all instruments of your power. Military is a very strong tool. Employ it. democracy is an art of handling all these instruments of power to maximize and optimize your potential. That is what it is. And let me tell you one more thing, that Indian Armed Forces have accepted democracy as the principle of governance in our country. Never mistrust them. I have had 40 years in that armed forces and I am monitoring, I keep very close contact with them even post my retirement, last almost 15 years. But they have accepted it, give them that dignity, give them that status, they will prove themselves. So never ever think they have been, this is perception management, which is another part of the security. There, you must have read in 2011, 12, 13 that Indian Armed Forces moved troops towards Delhi for carrying out some unethical practices, I'll say. It was never so. Don't demean this armed forces. It has stood with you and it will always be. They have accepted this principle of democracy. They have accepted this governance. They always believe that the democratically elected government is supreme and we are part of their system. Treat them as that. Then governance, you need to have strong leaders. You need to have those leaders who can take decisions in the national interest. Balakot decision was not a small decision, let me tell you. Anything could have happened. It could have led to war. Some of those 20 aircraft which went in about 70 kilometers inside could have been shot down. Some of those pilots could have been captured. Anything could have happened. Pakistan Air Defence should have acted. But it is to the credit of the leadership who had full faith in the armed forces, their capability, who took this decision, and we sent a very strong message to this adversary on our west. And thereafter there is a change in the way the world looks at Bharat. Today we have a very honorable place, dignified place, everybody respects. We have a credibility, we have a reliability, everybody. I don't think, if I read, I am sure Sheshadri Chariji will be able to vouch for it, that today our Bharat is at the highest pinnacle of credibility, honor and dignity amongst the large nations that have any meaning today. So, that is the duty of each one of us, to have good governance, have good leaders, and have a strong armed forces. Armed forces are meant to establish peace. Some of you will not agree with me, but that's my conviction. They are not to fight war, but to establish peace. If you have a strong armed forces, you will have peace all around. Nobody dare touch you. You see America, it has peace all around, it creates disturbance wherever it wants. So that is, have a strong armed forces. And lastly, my point is, nation first, always and every time. राष्ट्र प्रथम की भावना से हमने जीना है, इसको इनकलकेट करना है राइट फ्रॉम द चाइल्ड. एवरीबडी मस्ट रेस्पेक्ट आवर राष्ट्रीय चिन्ह जो है, हमारे प्रतीक जो है, हमारा नेशनल फ्लैग है, हमारा राष्ट्रगान है, वो 52 सेकंड के लिए जब कहीं भी वो गाया जाता है तो हम अगर सावधान में आ जाएं तो दैट विल क्रिएट a different spirit amongst us. And जब हित की बात आती है तो राष्ट्र हित से बड़ा कोई हित नहीं है. जब सेवा की बात आती है तो राष्ट्र सेवा से बड़ी कोई सेवा नहीं है. जब सम्मान की बात आती है तो राष्ट्र सम्मान से बड़ा कोई सम्मान नहीं है. जब गौरव की बात आती है तो राष्ट्र गौरव से बड़ा कोई गौरव नहीं है. और जब प्रेम की बात आती है तो राष्ट्र प्रेम से बड़ा कोई प्रेम नहीं है. मेरे बच्चों, जब भक्ति की बात आती है तो राष्ट्र भक्ति से बड़ी कोई भक्ति नहीं है. टेक इट फ्रॉम मी, एंड दिस इज व्हाट आई विल एंड माय लास्ट. just 2 lines of a poem which I read it in 5th or 6th class in Zen school. जो भरा नहीं है भावों से, जिसमें बहती रसधार नहीं, वह हृदय नहीं है, पत्थर है, जिसमें स्वदेश का प्यार नहीं. And as long as you keep that motto in front, tell your children, tell your colleagues, tell your friends among the society that भारत मेरा सबसे ऊपर है, राष्ट्र प्रथम है, और जात पात कास्ट रीजन लैंग्वेज everything is secondary. Bharat will be secured. Let anything artificial intelligence, anything come, I can bet that will ensure the security of our nation. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much for explaining the concept of comprehensive security. And most important,